That's as far as he got. Fighting Irish. Okay, so you know what? I'm gonna say that for tomorrow morning. I'm gonna say that lawsuit for tomorrow morning because apparently there's a Skip Bayless lawsuit out now with Noshin Faraji accused Skip Bayless of offering Fox Sports hairstylist, I guess, pretty much paying her to be a sex worker, or offered her 1.5 million dollars for sex. Yeah, offered her 1.5 million for sex was the article. But Skip Bayless and 14 others that were sued on accounts of sexual battery. And the lawsuit even includes Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp. So let me see here. Let's see here. Let's see here. I would like to get into, because I keep saying I'm gonna do it. I would like to get into the first degree in Freemasonry. I would like to get into that first. Smoke my butt. I most definitely did. I definitely did. Alright. Alright, let me put that together real quick. Oh, let me address that as well. Let me address that as well before I forget. So the California wildfires rage across Los Angeles County, forcing thousands to evacuate their homes. Now, when I thought about this, and shout out to what happened was, I thought about the same exact thing. Um, LA. See, now it only shows that. Okay, here it is. This was before. 19 celebrities who have left Los Angeles. I don't know. Why do I gotta. I'm not doing no free trial. But you see what it says. 19 celebrities who left Los Angeles recently, I guess. Paris Hilton's home burnt down. Yeah, Paris Hilton's home has burnt down. South Carolina is under a state of emergency as multiple wildfires burn through Los Angeles County. More than 30,000 people have been forced to evacuate their homes and flee for their lives as the Santa Ana winds further exasperate their situation. Excuse me. Um, Fires ripped through the Pacific Palisades, one of the wealthiest neighborhoods in the country, burning at a rate of 5 football fields per minute and leaving firefighters overwhelmed as they attacked the flames from the ground and the air. Amid the chaos, some celebrities are posting about the impact of the fires and showcasing the fire damage throughout the LA County, home to nearly 10 million people. Paris Hilton's representative told ABC News that her home was among those destroyed amid the wildfires. Heartbroken beyond words, sitting with my family watching the news and seeing our home in Malibu burned to the ground on live TV is something no one should ever have to experience. My God. Hilton posted to Instagram Wednesday. This home was where we built so many precious memories. It's where Phoenix took his first steps and where he dreamed of building a lifetime of memories with London. She added that while her loss was overwhelming, she was grateful that her family is safe. She also extended her prayers to others who have been affected by the wildfires and shared that she was in contact with nonprofit organizations on how to help the community. Uh, the Hills alum Heidi Montag shared an emotional TikTok video. This is it right here on Tuesday, in which she revealed the house she shares with husband Spencer Pratt and their children had been burnt down as well. Is it gonna let me see it?
Made the fire just in time for the sunset. Getting the photos. Look at this.
Hey, it's not what I want to look at. Oh, it's not gonna let me see it. There it is. Hold up. Unbelievable. Tens of thousands forced to evacuate as winds fuel fires. I don't understand why they continue to have that even going on, though. I'm so sad our house is gone, she said, fighting back tears. Pratt has also shared via Instagram story that his parents' house had burned. His house had burned down. His parents' house had burned down as well. General Hospital after actor Cameron Matheson shared a video to Instagram showing the devastation left behind by the fire and revealing his house burned down in the blaze. We are safe, he wrote, but this is what's left of our beautiful home. Oh my goodness. Our home where our kids were raised and where they wanted to raise their own someday. Matheson continued, thanks to all who reached out and checked in. Can't respond to all, so wanted to give an update here, sending so many prayers to everyone being affected by the fires. It's crazy. My cousin was just out there. Shout out to McDonald, Sean Hazard McDonald. He was literally just living out there not even a year or two ago, and he would have been caught in these fires here. So it's crazy that he's even that he just moved to Atlanta. Just I want to say about 6-7 months ago. Oh, this is crazy. That's crazy. Mm, that is wild right there. That is wild right there. Wow. The entire house is burnt to the ground, y'all. Like, I've never seen it live like that, but wow. You said you're out there now in LA, Cherie? Oh, that's right. You are on the West Coast. That's right. You are on the West Coast. Oh my God. Your cousin's house burned down to the ground today. God bless to you, Cherie. Yeah, I figured it was somebody that was in the chat that was from the West Coast that had some type of insight on it. My God. God bless to you. Definitely prayers out to you. Definitely prayers out to you. And the family. And your family as well. That's wow. This is crazy, y'all. So, is there any way to actually? So they have just the Red Cross. Looks like it's the only way to donate is the Red Cross. Call them. Man, it looks crazy. So this is Cameron Matheson. Man, that's crazy. There's another shot of the.
I have never seen flames from my house like this, ever. This is insanity. I hope everyone is staying safe tonight. Lots of love, lots of prayers.
That is wild right there. That is wild right there. Gutenberg called a disaster like this a great equalizer, explaining, doesn't matter how much money you have or what kind of car you drive or what kind of house you live in, everybody's the same in a crisis like this. Absolutely, absolutely. Guardians of the Galaxy actor Chris Pratt sent prayers and strength to those affected by the devastating fires in an Instagram post. Thank you to the brave firefighters and fires and first responders who are working tirelessly to protect lives, homes, and wildlife as they battle fast-moving wildfire. Fueled by fierce winds, Pratt wrote alongside a carousel of images, "You are true heroes, and we are endlessly grateful for your sacrifice and courage." He added, "Let's all come together to support one another during this tough time." Star Wars actor Mark Hamill shared an Instagram post about his family personal evacuation from Malibu to safety at his daughter's house, urging his followers to stay safe. Singer and actor Mandy Moore posted on her Instagram story that she'd evacuated and was safe with her kids, dogs, and cats, praying and grateful for the first responders. Moore added, on Tuesday, actor James Wood shared a post on Twitter about losing his home in the fires. "All the smoke detectors are going off in our house and transmitting to our iPhones," he wrote. "I couldn't believe our lovely little home in the hills held on this long. It feels like losing a loved one." In a separate post, he addressed all the lovely people offering care and love, writing, "There is no possession and priceless as friends and good neighbors during a tragedy. I can't believe the blessings we enjoy, and I am humbly grateful." Schitt's Creek, Schitt's Creek actor. Oh no, it's Schitt's Creek. Schitt's Creek actor Eugene Levy, the honorary mayor of Pacific Palisades, spoke to Los Angeles Times as he evacuated the area. Levy said the smoke looked pretty black and tense in the area at the time, adding, "I couldn't see any flames, but the smoke was very dark." Among the events that have been impacted by the fires, the 2025 Screen Actors Guild Award nominations were delayed and changed from an in-person event to nominees being unveiled via press release on the organization's website out of abundance of caution for people's safety. So of course, if you guys definitely want to donate, reach out to the Red Cross. Definitely do that as well.
The time it was an evacuation.
This week, Mark Cota-Robles from our partner station KABC. And Mark, I know you're stuck right in the middle of this. You're trying to evacuate your family and cover the fire at the same time.
Yeah, George, and we heard from Matt. Never have I ever, in his report, let me tell you, never.
I meant to just pause it. The crazy thing he just said just now, right? He said that he's trying to report on this at the same time evacuate his own family. This is crazy.
Have I ever seen this kind of a fire in Pasadena? This is where I live. This home here behind us, a complete.
I couldn't imagine reporting on my house burning down on live TV and evacuating my family. I couldn't imagine doing that.
You're stuck right in the middle of this. You're trying to evacuate your family and cover the fire at the same time.
Yeah, George, and we heard from Matt. Never have I ever, in his report, let me tell you, never have I ever seen this kind of a fire in Pasadena. This is where I live. This home here behind us, a complete loss. And look real quickly right down the road. Every home surrounding us has burned to the ground this morning. The winds are ferocious. I was going to like to report that the winds were easing up, but right now these are some of the worst winds that we have seen whipping up right now over the past 5 minutes or so. I was asleep in bed. There was a knock at the door from a neighbor. The kids were home. My mother was there. We evacuated the kids, although at the time it was an evacuation warning. But the winds, George, were so fierce, it actually...
Nah. Because my mind is saying to myself, how do you get called into work with that? How do you get called into work?
Actually blew off the covers to our attic inside the house. They blew away into the attic. Incredible winds. This is a Santa Ana red flag condition. There was the warning there, but never did we think it would get this bad. We have lost count. Dozens of homes here in Pasadena destroyed by these flames.
Well, it's such a bucolic community. Okay, Mark, thanks very much. We hope your family is safe. Just bringing to Mark.
Like, yo. He was reporting. Did you see him point to the back? He said, yo, my house is right here. As his house is burning down, he's having to report on this live. Like, how is Simpletown Radio? What's going on? How is anybody moving like this? The more fire, the more wind the entire state is coastal. Yes, that's a scientific fact there. So this happens literally all year round. I think how many times a year does this happen? Does the how many times a year does this happen? Real quick, let me see something. How many times a year do wildfires happen in California? In addition to more than 7,500 wildfire incidents, we responded to an average of more than 550,000 emergencies each year. What? What? $8,000. Wow. Why? What is it for? What are the wildfires? Wait. Now I need to know something. What are the wildfires for? This is how climate change contributed to the wildfires. Okay. Okay, so there's an actual video on it. Because I would like to know. I, for one, would like to know.
Across Southern California, we know that many environmentalists right now are sounding the alarm on the role that climate change is playing in fueling some of these fires. Joining me with more on this is Chad Hansen, who's a wildfire scientist and fire ecologist with the John Muir Project and author of Smokescreen: Debunking Wildfire Myths to Save Our Forests and our climate is certainly a worthy cause. So thank you for being here with us. And look, we've been talking a lot about how we knew this wind event was coming. We've also been talking a lot about how it impacts people that live in that, urban wildland interface. And we're seeing that play out in a really scary way out here. So as you watch this, what in particular made this so dangerous? Is it really just the combination of all those factors in this moment, also considering the low humidity?
Yeah, it is. It's a combination of factors that are all coming together at the same time and creating these really, really dangerous conditions. We have a fall and early winter where there's been very, very little precipitation. We have these really dry winds coming at incredible speeds with the Santa Ana winds coming off the deserts and coming down those canyons at hurricane force. And we have communities in the way, and we have these fires that are close to communities, and many communities have already been severely impacted. So yeah, it is that kind of circumstance that doesn't come along that often, fortunately, but it is happening more often because of climate change. That is a factor here.
And so when you're looking at climate change and you believe that that's a factor here, are you looking particularly at the fire starts, or are you looking at the increasing wind gusts here? I mean, they clocked a gust at 100 miles an hour out here today.
Yeah, I mean, some of the gusts, even for Santa Ana winds, some of the gusts that we're seeing are way on the high end. I mean, this is a rare event. But what I'm talking about mostly is the increase in the area that burns. Ignitions can be a factor, but also just the area that burns. When you have the right conditions, because it's dry, because you have the winds, you're going to get larger fires typically, and more communities impacted for a given ignition. And I think that's what we're seeing right now. And so, for me, it really just underscores the fact that we have to reimagine our policies and our approach to wildfires with regard to community safety. And we need to focus directly on protecting communities through proven methods that we know work, as opposed to trying to manage wildlands and manage vegetation, which does not work.
Well, so let's talk about a little bit of that management here, right? There's a huge debate that seems to be growing about how to manage our forests in terms of logging in particular, as well as the idea that, a fire moving through a forest where nobody lives is a cleansing thing. It's actually a good thing. And there's a lot of debate about how to properly manage that.
Yeah, this is a key thing. So our federal wildland fire policies really kind of came from the mid and early 20th century, and they came from this notion that fires are a forest thing, and if a forest is denser, it's going to burn more intensely, and so that's really where it's at. And if we can remove a bunch of trees from the forest, it'll stop the fires from reaching a town that might be many miles away. The problem is that the current science just doesn't support that. What it indicates is these are weather and climate events. They're driven by weather conditions, hot, dry, windy conditions, or at least warm, dry, windy conditions. And in fact, oftentimes removing trees from forests actually reduces the windbreak effect that a denser forest has, and allows the winds to sweep through the forest even faster and spread the flames faster, which means the fire reaches the town even faster. But the other factor is that most of the communities that are at greatest risk from wildfires, like most of those in Southern California, they're really not forest communities. They're not in the forest or even very close to a forest. They're in grassland or chaparral or oak savanna. And that's where the greatest risk is. And so really we're trying to kind of fit a square peg into a round hole, taking these mid-20th century policies and trying to fit them into a 21st century world where we have the climate crisis and communities in harm's way.
Right, and especially when more and more people are moving into that wildland interface, and it's becoming more and more dangerous. Chad Hansen, thank you for being here with us today. We appreciate your time.
This is crazy, y'all.
Nothing makes a gathering
I didn't think it
great
was this
like
crazy.
Eggland's best eggs.
I did not think it was this insanity out there. I didn't think it was that crazy out there. because I always heard about the California wildfires, right? But I never knew that it had gotten this insane, and I didn't know that the place that it actually hit. That's why this one is actually like, this one's going a little bit more viral than the other ones have beforehand. Because we heard about California wildfires in the past. It's not like California wildfires are a new thing. This has happened beforehand, right? I think there was something that happened with Canada wildfires before, and the Canada wildfires made New York look like Armageddon. So them burning the trees to, like he said, to reduce such dense air moving through and causing these wildfires is why they actually do it. They pretty much are removing the trees to prevent things like this happening in the near future, when in fact they're actually, actually causing it to still happen. It's too many at once. It's wild out here. Look up empty fire hydrants in Cali. I mean, like I said, I wouldn't. That's another thing too, right? If we're talking about that, that also just sounds like they pretty much they plan for these type of things, right? They plan for these type of things, and so many of the big actors probably moved out of Hollywood or moved out of LA before this type of thing even happened, because they knew this would happen. Okay, so you take someone like Paris Hilton, who's not that necessarily. She's involved, of course, but not necessarily in the know to be able to move out in time. But you take like the Tom Hanks that moved to Greece, and the other Silicon Valley people like Mark Zuckerberg who moved to Hawaii. They moved for, of course, bigger things that were coming to America. But yes, this is definitely man-made. This is definitely man-made. What's happening right now? I definitely agree with you on that, Cherie Purnell. The sun does it. Any dry forest will catch fire. This is just confluence of factors to make it worse. Yes, like I said, as he explained before, like I said, they do it so they can try to prevent the fires from getting crazy. But unfortunately, the side effect to it is there can be fires that still do get crazy, and this is one of those side effects to where it still got crazy at the end of the day. We just had mad fog the other day. It is crazy how the heart machine actually does this, though. Because my whole thing is, if you can use the heart machine to create these storms and shit, you can use that heart machine for good and reverse some of these winds that affected these homes. Yeah, Paris Hilton is still tied in to certain shit, but as far as being in the know to move out of LA, I wouldn't think so right now. Fire insurance was removed from homeowners some months back. This isn't normal at all. Wait a minute, what? Wait, what? Huh? Insurers dropped fire coverage for California homes months ago. Now wildfires are claiming more houses in Los Angeles? What? Some homes affected by Los Angeles wildfires might not have insurance. Insurers have been canceling plans and declining to sign new ones in the state. Years of worsening wildfires have increased payouts and other costs for insurers in California. As wildfires destroy homes in Los Angeles, some homeowners might face rebuilding without insurance pay. What the fuck? That's because some insurance companies have been cutting back on their business in California in recent years as wildfires in the state have worsened. State Farm, for instance, said in 2023 said it would no longer accept new homeowners insurance applications in California. Then last year, the company said it would end coverage for 72,000 homes and apartments in the state. Both announcements cited risks for catastrophes as one of the reasons for the decisions. Wow. That they won't accept new homeowners insurance applications. You can't even get it. That's crazy. Homes in the upscale Pacific Palisades neighborhood, one of the areas hardest hit by the fires so far, were among those affected when State Farm canceled the policies last year. The Los Angeles Times reported in April State Farm did not immediately respond to a request for comment from Business Insider. Other home insurers have dropped coverage in the state, even in areas where the wildfire risk is low. NBC Bay Area reported that in September, when insurance companies face higher losses or payouts, they typically respond in two ways: raise premium prices and stop renewing policies, or writing new policies. Dave Jones, director of the Center for Law, Energy, and the Environment at the University of California, Berkeley's School of Law, said in September Q&A posted to the university's website, California insurers are doing both. Between 2011 and 2018, Jones was also California's insurance commissioner. A new rule set to take effect about a month into 2025 will require home insurers to offer coverage in areas at high risk of fire. The Associated Press reported in December, Laura, that's crazy. So you can't even get a house in that area. Ricardo Laura, California's insurance commissioner, announced the rule just days before the Los Angeles. Just days before. At a press conference on Wednesday, one reporter asked Lindsay Horvath, a member of the Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors, whether the Los Angeles fires would affect insurance companies' operations in California. I believe it already has, and the conversation is ongoing. Wow, just days before. Wow. Wow. This was planned like a motherfucker. Big money areas got hit, not the hood. Yeah, this was planned. This was planned. Yes, they're trying to start smart cities. I said this earlier in the chat about the insurance crazy work. That's crazy. What about the people in the jails where the fire is? That's depopulation right there. That's depopulation. That's exactly what that is. That's depopulation right there. Let me see. Smart cities. Look. Because it's 2025. Look at this. Smart LA 2028. We live in a world full of urban challenges, from racial injustice that impacts our minority populations to natural disasters that threaten safety and property, to environmental changes that affect the very water we drink and the air we breathe. To address these challenges, I'm drinking tap water right now, I ain't gonna lie to you. Cities seek tools that can positively transform the urban environment. The most promising of these tools is technology. Technology enables the city of LA to efficiently and ethically improve the quality of life for our residents, businesses, and visitors In other words, when done right, technology makes us smarter. This is why the city of Los Angeles strives to be a smart city. In 2019, the City of Los Angeles Information Technology Agency, ITA, convened its Smart City Committee composed of 24 departments and elected officials, while Los Angeles had become a civic technology leader, winning #1 U.S. Digital U.S. Digital City Award for 3 straight years. And the exponential growth of new technologies and increasing public expectations requires new levels of coordination to realize our smart city vision. Wow. So when did they, let me see something. So smart, I don't know why the caps lock is on smart city Palisades. Climate smart cities. Yeah. So they make an example out of that Palisades. The climate smart Los Angeles project delivers of the commitment of the Trust for Public Land to assist the mayor's office of sustainability and city departments in meeting several goals of the 2015 sustainability plan and the revised 2019 Green New Deal plan. 2016, we worked with over 20 local experts. So if I'm looking at this graph right here, reduce urban renewal temperature difference by 1.7 Fahrenheit degrees by look at this. Reduce urban rural temperature difference by 1.7 Fahrenheit by 2025 and 3 degrees Fahrenheit by 2035. Increase tree canopy in areas of greatest need by at least 50% by 2028. Increase the percentage of all trips made by walking, biking, micro-mobility, mass rides, or transit to at least 35% by 2025, 50% by 2035. Wow. Wow. So they really did plan this, do this on purpose. Olympics will be there in 2028. They cleaning house. This is literally them cleaning house. Yes, the government is fucking wicked. That's wicked. They took away the ability to get the insurance for the fires if your shit burnt down. Then made sure your shit did burn down just to make way for the smart cities. That's fucked up. Emil Mendez, thank you for that information, by the way. That is fucked up. G, also thank you for that information, because you did say that in the chat earlier. And then Cherie Purnell says the Olympics are coming in 2028 also. So they pretty, and look what it says here, by 2035 that they were trying to get that shit done, but it literally said Smart City LA 2028. Smart LA 2028. And the Olympics will be there in 2028. That's fucking crazy. That is wild, yo. The government is just so wicked. The government is just wicked beyond wicked, yo. Hold on, let the ad play real quick.
Ted Ross, Chief Information Officer at the City of Los Angeles. As you know, we live in a world full of urban challenges, from traffic congestion that takes our time and pollutes our environment, to natural disasters that threaten the safety of our communities. To address these challenges, Los Angeles looks to smart city technology that can positively transform our urban environment. While not a silver bullet, technology provides solutions that were previously unavailable to the generations who lived before us. It is technology that enables transparency in our policing and gives a powerful voice to our diverse communities. It's technology that innovates alternative energy sources to reduce pollution and limit our carbon footprint. And it is technology that provides ultra high speed internet connectivity for LA residents and businesses to do amazing things. Technology enables the city of LA to efficiently and ethically improve the quality of life for our residents, businesses, and visitors. In other words, when done right, technology makes us smarter. That's why the city of Los Angeles strives to be a smart city. And there's never been a more important time for Los Angeles to be smart than now, as we prepare to host the world in the 2028 Summer Olympics and Paralympics. Technology has transformed almost every.
Literally says it in the advertisement. As we get ready for the Olympics.
Facet of our lives. According to the Pew Research Group, 81% of Americans connect with each other through handheld smartphones, and 71% are active on social media. Our nation has fundamentally become digital, connected, and online. Likewise, at the city of Los Angeles, technology is fundamental to how we function in managing traffic, planning our communities, engaging our constituencies, and protecting our residents. Through the coordination of both existing and emerging smart city technologies, we are positioned to transform the way we live, work, and move around LA. In LA, we believe smart cities are much more than software you purchase or sensors that you install in the cityscape. A smart city is an integrated, intelligent, urban ecosystem comprised of multiple ingredients that must work together for the benefit of the public. This would include, first, smart city infrastructure. This is the physical technology used to deliver smart city technologies, such as Department of Transportation's ATSAC traffic management system, which uses 4,500 connected traffic intersections to reduce travel time by more than 13%, or the Public Works Street Lighting's 165,000 LED street lamps that saves $3 million a year in electricity. Second, are smart city data tools. This is the ability to share information across the smart city when you need it, where you need it, such as Sanitation's Clean Streets program that proactively improves street cleanliness across 6,500 miles of LA streets, or our Data Science Federation, which every semester matches university data scientists in training with LA urban challenges. Third is Smart City Digital Services, which are the apps and websites used to digitally deliver city services to the public, including the award-winning MyLA 311 mobile app, providing access to 1,500 city services through your smartphone, or the Shake Alert LA app that provides up to 45 seconds of advance warning of a coming earthquake. Fourth are smart city connectivity and digital inclusion. This is the work that we do to ensure that all LA communities and businesses have access to the internet. It includes the distribution of over 5,000 computers by the City of LA to families in need through our Cycle LA program. And finally is smart city governance. This is how we coordinate investments in smart city efforts across all of our 42 city departments. In fact, the City of Los Angeles is a founding member of the I3 Consortium, along with the University of Southern California and 90 other partners, which has built an open source Internet of Things data aggregator as a smart city data marketplace. As you can see, LA's vision for becoming a smart city is already becoming a reality. As a 3-time United States Digital City Award winner, the City of Los Angeles has been investing in the infrastructure, the apps, and the data tools to be a globally recognized smart city. But as technology evolves, so our smart city must evolve too. That's why we have developed our Los Angeles Smart City Strategy, known as Smart LA 2028, as a roadmap to the 2028 Summer Olympics. It includes 56 new goals that use technology to transform the way we live, work, and move around LA. Check it out here. Thank you.
I'm speechless. But as I'm thinking about this, I'm like, okay. So I keep hearing we're getting ready for the Olympics, right? What if this is also to introduce? So if we're talking about a smart city, right? We're talking about a smart city, right? Smart city linked to. Yes, smart cities can be linked to bank accounts, and digital technologies can disrupt traditional banking models. Smart cities use digital technologies to improve the lives of citizens, and this can include banking services. So pretty much, your banking. Look, smart cities are connected. Connected cities. MasterCard is already a part of this shit. MasterCard is right here. Smart cities, Master fucking card, right? Is a brochure from 2017. Smart cities are connected cities. Okay? So they're pretty much already emphasizing that there is going to be banking systems connected to these shits. So pretty much, if you don't have an RFID, bro, what's going on? God bless you. Thank you for tuning in. If you don't have, if you're not connected to the actual smart city system, so I don't think this is going to be something simple as an application on your phone the way it is now. I think this is going to be more of the RFID chip, smart city linked to. Let me see something. Smart city linked to RFID chips refers to a city that utilizes radio frequency identification technology to manage and monitor various aspects of its infrastructure, like traffic flow, waste collection, access control, and asset tracking by embedding RFID tags on objects and people, allowing for automated data collection and improve efficiency within the urban environment. So pretty much, as we went over before, the RFID chips are pretty much those little chips that are going to be implanted in people's fingers, people's necks, people's heads, that type of shit, right? Shit as little as on your finger fucking tip. These RFID tags that are going to be implanted to people that you can literally purchase right now. You can purchase these bitches right now. Okay? Look at this. How RFID chips are bringing next generation NFL stats to your couch. Look at this shit. How RFID chips are bringing NFL stats to your couch. This is from 2023 last year. It was first and goal for the Seattle Seahawks during a 2020 game against Arizona Cardinals. Safety Buddha Baker jumped the lane to snare an interception, tearing off for the end zone. But Seahawks wide receiver DK Metcalf, who was running on the opposite side of the field, gave chase. In an amazingly short time, Metcalf brought down Baker short of the goal line, saving a touchdown. He is flying down the field. Chris Collinsworth said during the broadcast it was unbelievable how much ground he made up. Within minutes, we knew just how fast Metcalf was. He'd uncovered a total of 114 yards during the play, reaching a top speed of 22.64 miles per hour. Those numbers are courtesy of the NFL's next-gen stats, offering data in real time based on player and football tracking on the field. In fact, we know that Metcalf was one of the fastest players of the year, according to Adam Petrus, business development and sales lead for sports and entertainment at Lincolnshire, Illinois-based Zebra Technologies, the official on-field player tracking provider for the NFL, that told an interesting story. And that's the sort of thing the NFL loves to do. Petrus tells popular merchants an important part of any football game is data collection and analysis. Yards per carry or yards per pass are tracked on offense, as are tackles and sacks on defense. In the press box, teams' media relations staffs pass out reams. There's reams, right? Or pass out reams of paper with every countable metric, from snap counts for players to a chronology of every player during the game. What is it? Okay. And then in an imperceptible network of RFID sensors, track player movement as well as the movement of the ball itself, with the potential for more than 260 data points for any play during an NFL game, all collected in real time. It's part of the league's latest efforts to compile data not just for teams to analyze and interpret, but to help enhance the fan experience as well. The advancement of technology is a positive for the game. The next step is to figure out what to look for to try to get that advantage. Petrus says sports and technology are coming together. It's really for the teams to see what the data means. Tracking players through radio frequency signals for as long as, that's crazy. tracking players through radio frequency signals. For as long as the NFL has been in existence, coaches and front office personnel have been refining data gathering and player evaluations. In the 1940s, the Rams, who just moved from Cleveland to Los Angeles, didn't have a network of former players to recommend players to sign, so owner Dan Reeves started the first official scouting department in the NFL, tasked with finding new talent. We don't need to read much of that further, but like I said, smart cities, that's pretty much what I was getting into. These smart cities are going to pretty much be able to control us at the end of the day. They said Jay-Z already chipped. Straight from DC, what's going on? You've been ducking RFID chips your whole life? Amen to that, brother. Amen to that. This is crazy that they're even doing this, though. The government is pretty much just wiping away California. I mean, just wiping away California. Just so they can make way for the smart cities and to control people. So pretty much like they had Silicon Valley being the testee for the new technology that's being rolled out in front of us, the AI and everything like that, the beta and everything. This is pretty much just letting us know that they are pretty much going to be using Los Angeles as the test site for RFID chipping people. That's literally what's going to happen. I can literally see that California is going to be mandating RFID chips. I can just see that happening. Right now, they prohibit the forced implementation of RFID chips in humans. Right now, they do. Governor Schwarzenegger, of course, in 2008. This law went into effect January 1st, 2008, prohibits employers and others from forcing anyone to have. Now, see, why would they even have that? They put in the law in 2008 that employers can't force you to have the RFID chip. New California law forbids forced RFID chip implantation in humans. That's crazy. So where else are they going to have that mandate? Where are they going to have that mandate is the real question. Look at this, July 9th this year, the rise of preemptive bans on human microchip implants. I didn't even know this was a thing. I didn't know this was a thing that they literally had to start banning it. Yeah, I know. The SIM card is definitely a RFID chip, but like different packages and things like that, those are RFID chips. But talking about just human beings, I didn't know there was a thing that they had to start banning. Like California made it a mandate that you cannot put it in, that you don't have to be forced to have it. They made it a mandate that employers can't force you to get microchipped. Like, why would they need to do that? That's wild to me right there. The FRS system, I work with computer friends and technology, so it's no joke. They transmit everything through radioactive frequencies, being able to communicate zombie-like activity. Yeah, see, that's the thing, right? I'm not all for the whole thing of them tracking athletes with radio frequency technology. I am not for that. I'm not for that at all. I'm not for them tracking any type of human being for any type of matter, for any situation whatsoever, service or no service. I do not condone them chipping or even following anybody by a fucking radio frequency. I do not condone that. At the end of the day. That ain't no different than you microchipping me. That ain't no different. You basically just following me. And that's what I'm getting at here with these smart cities. They are pretty much going to be, even if you're not microchipped, something as small as your email in that smart city is what's going to be used to track your every movement that you do. Whether you go to the store or you go take a piss, it's going to be tracking your every fucking movement. That's another reason why I never even agree with wearing no goddamn Apple Watches. I don't want my phone already hear what I say in conversations and bring me ads upon it. I don't need my watch to tell me what the fuck I just did 2 days ago or even 5 minutes ago. My memory should be okay to do that. I don't need my watch to know that. Because if my watch knows that, that means the government knows that. Yes, the RFID chip thing has been in motion for years. We literally were looking at a village in what do you call it? Switzerland. Village in Switzerland, where they literally are testing people that have nothing but the RFID chips. That's literally a smart city there. Everybody in that city is microchipped. Smart cities are used for movement restrictions, yes, to pretty much discipline. It's pretty much legal martial law, if you want to call it, right? That's pretty much legal martial law at the end of the day. Real life demolition man, exactly. Exactly. Give me 1 second. So these smart cities are pretty much trying to make sure that we are connected to its network. At the end of the day, 15-minute cities, never have to leave, can't go anywhere. Yeah, at the end of the day, everything that you need is pretty much going to be connected to you. They know how many, yes, they know how many steps we take every day. I hate that. I hate that everything, I hate literally now everything we do is tracked. Everything we do is tracked. Everything we do already is tracked. That's why I don't even want to say right now, but that's why I try to make sure. That's why I try to make sure that it's a little bit more difficult to track me than others. I try to make sure that. I'll just say it that way. I do need to get a VPN though. Fairy B, you told me that before. Get a VPN. Can people own homes in smart cities, or is this where you rent out spaces on a schedule? So that's another thing, right? I would think in these smart cities. Let me see something. Because look at this. Oh, hold on. That's Amazon. That's wild. That's Amazon. So look at this. Small smart home for $22,000. It's 30-foot house with luxury. I don't know why Amazon wants me to sign in for that. But look. You can literally buy you a smart house on Amazon. little smart house on Amazon. $35,000. Shit you can get right now. Usually ships within 5 weeks, it's saying, for $35,000. I don't see any reviews on it, but let me see something real quick. This is Roombus.com. Roombus is coming. You can enter your email. But look, there's a website here. You can buy a little smart home. Hook it right to the phone. Now, we're talking about a smart home, right? Those smart homes can link to you. If you are RFID chipped, you pretty much can just tell your door to unlock. You could be driving home, looking at your phone, because you're going to be in a smart car, a Tesla car. You can just tell your door unlock. Futuristic smart tiny house can be installed nearly anywhere in hours. This is October 8th, 2024 this year. They have these ready, y'all. Yeah, I thought these were just in the movies. These little homes right here for a little $20,000, $30,000 real quick. You could get this like $45,000 right now. While your house is like $200,000-$300,000 falling apart right now. Some people got $200,000 or $300,000 homes with roaches in it right now. You can get this for $20,000-$30,000, y'all. Small home. Yes, we are renters of Earth. You're absolutely right. Yes, they do say these things will happen in the Bible. You're absolutely right. They did say we was going to be living like this. I don't know if you know things about God's eye and the level of technology the world is dealing with is no joke. I like to link to some stuff you... Yes. Yes, definitely. Just hit me on the DM right there. The Instagram right there. Just hit me on the Instagram. Just hit me on the Instagram. This is crazy, y'all. I had no idea that LA was doing it like this, though. Yeah, you just need land. You just need land for your fish. You just need land for it. You put this shit in your backyard. Live like Stedman and Oprah. Get tired of your wife? You have a big enough backyard? Put this bitch in the backyard. Fuck buying a new car. I'd sell the car and live in this bitch. I'd sell one of my... Live in this bitch right here. I got nothing to second car. Get rid of that goddamn car. Live right in one of these. In the backyard. Like a man cave. I got a whole crib in the backyard. They started building these smart city models where I live in the suburbs. But we won't own anything and we'd be no. No. Let me see if I can remember. I can find that movie. I can't remember the name of it. Let me see something. Was it this? No. I was trying to find that movie I had found before about the computer that was telling the guy how he feels. Let's see if I can find that real quick. Was it this one? Oh, I think it was Den of Geek. It might have been Den of Geek. It might have been Den of Geek. Thank you for the Cash App, Opera. Thank you so much for that. Brian Patterson, what's going on? The audio is echoing. Yeah, I know. It's because the microphone is down. So let me show you something real quick. So it's because the microphone that I have here has been very, very low. So if I go to this microphone, I'm very, very low. So I've been using the camera microphone. Because the camera microphone is a little bit louder. So what you're hearing in the background is pretty much my boiler. So I apologize. Yes, the tiny home movement is all crazy. The tiny home movement is very, very crazy. I, for one, was, like I said, taken back. I've always been taken back by the fact that none of this shit nowadays is just in the movies anymore. We are literally living amongst all of these times. The movies is having a hard time with finding science fiction. Because the movies are having a hard time with finding actual fiction. Imagine you can't find actual fiction. Because all this shit is either based on something that's really happening or actually happened already. Or about to. It's no more fiction. Oh yeah, it's no more of that. It's no more of that. Everything is going to be owned by the government. Especially if, put it like this, right? If they're beta testing us with smart cities in LA, because you know how if LA got it, it's usually the trendsetter for when New York going to get it, right? And we know that LA is now, okay, going to be having the smart cities by 2028. Ground zero is going to be New York City. They're going to be nuking New York City pretty much. We already know they're going to be pretty much just remodeling New York City from the next big devastation event, okay? So once New York City and LA have these smart cities and smart homes because they want to keep out so-called quote-unquote aliens, right? New York's going to be using the excuse of aliens. Wait, what? I heard that was gone already. But this is 3 hours ago. Wow. Hollywood is literally burning. The Hollywood sign in LA is now covered by fire. If this ain't a sign of the times, y'all, If this ain't a sign of the times of Revelation, Hollywood is burning literally to the ground. The Hollywood Hills are literally on fire right now. Oh, this is from someone's song too. That's crazy. From ACAL, Fire Burn. That's crazy. Hollywood Hills are literally on fire right now. The Hollywood sign is on fire. Yeah, it's literally hitting the news right now. You're absolutely right. It literally is hitting the news right now. Let me see. This was from 10. This is from CNN 10 minutes ago. At least 5 dead and thousands evacuated ahead of raging wildfires in LA. Let me refresh it real quick and see if they have something else. Nope. Fire ignites in Hollywood Hills. What we know about the Sunset Fire and others burning now. The Hollywood Hills are burning. Look at all this. Look at it covered. Look at all this. The Sunset Fire broke out Wednesday night and quickly led to mandatory evacuations. Laurel Canyon Boulevard to Mulholland Drive, 101 Freeway, downtown Hollywood Boulevard. That is wild. That is wild to me. I'm trying to see something real quick. Oh man, this is crazy. Look at this. Looks like literal hell in Armageddon. I'm a firefighter. That's what I'm thinking right now. This looks like hell in Armageddon out here. The Getty Villa. That looks like something out of hell right there. This looks like hell. The Getty Villa. This is the Palisades fire again. Oak Ridge. Oh man. This is how we starting off 2025 though, y'all. LA is a big party of sin and disrespect. Does evil like this exist? Like organized evil? This is crazy though. And you know what else I'm thinking about too? How this is also. God bless you, Cherie Purnell. We're definitely sending prayers out to you. We're definitely sending prayers out to you. If you need any help, let us all know. Because this is definitely crazy right now. Yeah, that's the Getty Villa. That's a picture of the Getty Villa right now. No, not Gail and Oprah. I'm talking about Oprah and Stedman. I was talking about Oprah and Stedman. Stedman is Oprah's hubby that has a house across the street. But yeah, we're definitely praying for you, Shree. Are you close to the Getty? Is that what it is? Are you close to the Getty? Yeah, this is the Getty Villa Art Museum, threatened by the flames of the wind-driven Palisades fire Tuesday. Evacuation orders are in place for areas in Altadena and Pasadena near Eaton Canyon after a fast-moving brush fire broke out 6:23 p.m. Tuesday. On Wednesday, officials said 5 people have died and many other were injured as the fire had spread. And that is the Eaton County fire right there. Yeah, Cherie, please let us know if there's anything we can do. Because that is insane right there. Yeah, they're showing videos now. This still going out of control everywhere. This is absolutely ridiculous right now. Meanwhile, you got Trump. I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not gonna say that. The people have a warning. No, they didn't have any warning for this. But the hint, like Emil Mendez said, was that they dropped the insurance months ago. And just days beforehand, they made the ultimate decision of you definitely couldn't get it for new homeowners. They made sure that you couldn't get it, which, like I said, is pretty fucked up to me. That's pretty fucked up in my opinion. Like I was really taken back just listening to that particular part there. It's like, wow. Two days ago, they warned us about wind before the fire started. Yeah, I'm definitely, like I said, taken back by this whole thing here, because I didn't realize how critical it actually gotten. Let me see. I didn't realize how critical this whole thing had actually gotten here.
Words alone can't describe.
Let's get that. Yeah. This is music.
Good evening and welcome. I've covered wildfires in California since the earliest days of my career, and I don't remember anything quite like the firestorms raging across Southern California tonight.
This is 3 hours ago. This is just 3 hours ago right here.
Good evening and welcome. I've covered wildfires in California since the earliest days of my career, and I don't remember anything quite like the firestorms raging across Southern California tonight. Multiple major infernos destroying more than 1,000 homes and businesses, killing at least 5 people and defying efforts to contain them. Firefighters in Pacific Palisades outmanned and in some cases out of water. Hydrants running dry. Firefighting aircraft for a time grounded by ferocious winds, some gusting around 100 miles per hour. Rows of homes and restaurants along the Pacific Coast Highway were consumed by the flames. This is what it looked and sounded like. Almost haunting. The Pacific Palisades fire growing to nearly 16,000 acres. 40 miles away, the Eaton fire turned deadly and has exploded to over 10,000 acres. Tonight, thousands in the region are under evacuation orders, filling shelters. Schools are closed, while power is out for 1.5 million Southern Californians. Gotti Schwartz is in the fire zone to start our coverage.
This area of Altadena has become an absolute wasteland. You've got rows and rows of homes that have burned. You've got some homes that are still standing, but it's just a matter of time.
This was the moment the sun rose over the fire raging above Pasadena, but you'd never know it because the dawn disappeared in the smoke.
Again, you hear those explosions. So many of these homes, there is no hope.
But against the odds in Mother Nature, some stayed doing everything they could to fight back.
There are people still here trying to fight this fire with garden hoses. There is still water in this area, but with this much destruction, it almost seems futile. You were here fighting by yourself, right?
Yes.
How long have you been out here?
I've been out since 4 a.m.
4 a.m. trying to protect your home.
Yes.
You now have a full, contingent of firefighters here.
Yes.
It seems like it's right in the nick of time.
They saved this home for now.
Hey, I'm taking it in.
A scene that played out across so many fire lines, from the foothills of the Angeles Mountains to the Palisades.
And then trying to make entrance. They're smashing down that door. They got to go inside. They got to make sure no one is here.
Who else is left in the house? Right. Yeah.
Homeowners on rooftops trying to wet down everything.
Here they come. They're going to help you.
It's hard to show the scope of what's going on.
As we headed down Sunset Boulevard, the loss was worse than any fire we've ever seen.
This looks like the apocalypse here.
In the chaos, way too often, firefighters left without water as hydrants went dry.
They are not designed to fight wildfires. A firefight with multiple fire hydrants drawing water from the system for several hours is unsustainable.
Water!
Officials say they weren't able to fill tanks fast enough, which would have helped with the water pressure. Something NBC's Morgan Chesky saw firsthand.
Out of every fire hydrant you've seen, what have you found?
Right now, we're finding most of them are down or low pressure.
If you had a hydrant for this building.
If we had a hydrant for this building, we might have been able to save the back house.
This apartment complex is untouched for now, but you can see how close those flames are. Firefighters are making their way up. Again, they're having to ignore massive structures like this huge apartment complex. It looks like it's going to go up imminently because they are just overwhelmed. There isn't enough water up here.
The winds also grounding that critical support from the sky for most of the day. And when firefighters were able to make a stand and save a home, there was no victory. Just a brief reprieve from the helplessness of fighting fire against the wind.
Gotti, I feel like you really took us into what it is like there. This devastation goes well beyond the homes destroyed in Pacific Palisades.
Yeah, well beyond the homes. The scope of this is so difficult to comprehend. We've seen schools, we have seen synagogues, we've seen churches here along the Palisades. This is the heart of the Palisades. You've got a restaurant, down to the banks here in the Palisades have been reduced to ash. And unfortunately, we've been in the neighborhoods above, below, and to each side of the heart of the Palisades. And so far, they're saying about 1,000. That's a preliminary number, 1,000 structures lost. We can tell you that number is going to climb significantly. Lester.
All right, Gotti, thank you. Until today, it was hard to imagine destruction on this scale. Today, our Liz Croit saw some of the worst of it.
A massive and deadly wildfire emergency is unfolding in Southern California. From the Pacific Palisades to Pasadena, multiple infernos continuing mass destruction of homes and businesses. Tens of thousands forced to evacuate.
Last night was one of the most devastating and terrifying nights that we've seen in any part of our city, at any part of our history.
On the coast, the Palisades fire exploding to more than 15,000 acres. 75-mile-per-hour winds overnight, pushing the flames up the Pacific Coast Highway, where it overtook the iconic city of Malibu and created this apocalyptic scene stretching for miles on the California coast.
We're watching multiple beachfront properties here just go up in flames. First responders trying to get a hold of the fires. All the neighboring properties here destroyed as the winds are picking up.
In the Pacific Palisades, officials say at least 1,000 structures lost. Across Southern California, high winds and protected power shutoffs have left more than 1 million people in the dark. At the Eaton fire burning in Altadena, 45 minutes from the coast, at least 5 people have died and more than 100 structures destroyed. As wind-whipped embers expanded the fire's path, it forced the evacuation of this assisted living facility.
You'll see the people on stretchers and just the effort, very rapid effort to try to get these people out of harm's way.
For many, the race to get out was by any means necessary.
Which is your house?
Yeah, this is our house. Backyard's on fire. I'm out of here.
Some of the most expensive real estate in the world reduced to rubble on Pacific Coast Highway.
Here at PCH, home after home after home of beachfront properties are destroyed. Usually you would see the Pacific Ocean there. Now it's just ashes and smoke.
As fires still burn, officials urging residents not to ignore evacuation orders.
A high number of significant injuries to residents who did not evacuate, in addition to first responders who were on the fire line.
Today, President Biden meeting with local officials, including Governor Gavin Newsom, who toured the destruction.
Have you ever seen anything like this?
The closest approximation was Paradise, California. It's one of the most deadly fires in U.S. history. But at this stage, a little over 24 hours, nothing comes close.
Tonight, thousands displaced with the flames still threatening homes.
The garage.
In Malibu, Steve Wiggins says he tried everything to save his.
So I kept spraying all the embers, and then the next thing I know, a 30-foot wall of fire was coming at 60 miles an hour, and I couldn't see, and it was so smoky, and I said, well, it's time to leave.
He came back today to find nothing.
We lost everything we owned, but it doesn't even look like a house anymore. It just looks like a something.
A lot of heartbreak. Liz, the fire threat still very active tonight.
It really is, Lester. In fact, here in Malibu, you can see these crews continuing to work here as they try to put out the flames that are beginning to consume this home here on the coast. Millions across LA are on alert right now, with some evacuation orders even issued in Santa Monica, with red flag warnings continuing through at least Friday. Lester.
All right, Liz Kreutz, thanks. We want to give you a lay of the land now as to where all this is happening and look at why resources may be so stretched. Los Angeles County is the most populous county in the nation, with major urban centers, sparkling beach communities, and rugged mountains. Pacific Palisades, where the first fire broke out yesterday, sits on the coast, Malibu to its north, iconic Santa Monica to its south. Moving inland 25 miles to the north and east of the Palisades is the Sylmar area. That's where the Hearst fire is burning. And then another 25 miles southeast from there is Altadena, near Pasadena, where the deadly Eaton fire is raging tonight, and where we find our Steve Patterson. Steve, good evening.
Lester, the air quality here has been miserable for now more than 24 hours. You can feel it, and when the smoke bill is like this, it travels for miles. Area hospitals now filling up due to smoke inhalation, with experts saying the best thing you can do is to stay inside, and even then, if you have an air purifier, use one. If you have to be out in this, wet rags and surgical masks will not work. You need an N95 with a purifier. Today, the air quality index, or AQI, reached more than 300. That's hazardous to everyone, not just the most at-risk groups. Lester?
All right, thanks, Steve Patterson. Our colleagues at our NBC station in Los Angeles, KNBC, have been working nonstop for more than 24 hours covering this disaster. Their deep connection to those communities reflected in so much of their coverage, including this moment when reporter Michelle Valles was on the air as neighbors battled flames consuming the home next door.
This home next to it was on fire, and they were making gains here. They were making gains, and then all of a sudden the winds picked up. And you can just see how it's fueling the fire next door as these neighbors desperately try to keep their home from catching fire. So you're just helpless as you watch these people doing probably, you put yourself in their situation, and it's really dark, and it's really fiery here. There's a lot of explosions, and there's just no help in sight, and you're just wondering when this is all going to end. Riverside County, please stop. Yeah. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. Praise the Lord. I mean, they're going to really douse this fire here.
An amazing television moment, and certainly an amazing moment of humanity. Let me bring in Al Roker now. Al, what are the conditions that help fuel these fires? Is there any sense and sign of relief?
There is some relief coming, Lester. We saw those air flights resume because the winds have died down. The biggest problem is since October 1st, they've gotten less than 10% of their average rainfall. The good news is this high pressure, low pressure combo that has been squeezing these Santa Ana winds out, that's been the problem. Well, now they're starting to move to the east and separate, so the winds are starting to die down. That's good news. In fact, you can see those winds overnight coming down, the gusts into single digits in some spots. Now, the next thing we're worried about, that storm system in the southwest, that's going to cause 52 million people to be under winter storm warnings, advisories, watches. Snowfall amounts, Dallas 2 to 5, 3 to 6 in Tupelo, plus icing conditions stretching from Texas all the way into the southeast. Big travel problems over the next 24 hours.
Okay, Al, thank you for that update. Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news.
That shit's just sad, yo. The amount of people reporting as these fires are going on. Like I said, I'm still fucked up over the guy that was reporting on the fire as his house was burning down in the back of him. That shit still fucks me up. They say all the hotels are being overcrowded. I guarantee you they are. I can only imagine a Hilton hotel lobby right now. Keep your eyes on the traffic updates tonight so you can calculate to leave, so you won't get stuck in traffic. Yes, like Cherie Pennell, G, Abra, all of you guys, God bless you guys. Our prayers go out to you guys. My prayers go out to you guys. This is nuts. This is absolutely nuts. The fact that this is going on right now, and all this because they want smart cities. All because they want a fucking smart city in LA in 3 years. This is what it's for, y'all. They are literally burning down home after home, resident after resident, business after business, to make way for a smart city. I'm appalled. I am absolutely appalled. The government couldn't have been no more selfish than this right here. I can't even say allegedly on this one. I can't say allegedly on this. This is just fucked up all the way around. I like I said, I'm very speechless beyond the fact that these reporters, God bless these reporters being on the scene, having to report this shit as some of their homes are, going up in flames. God bless that gentleman that had to even, sit there on a camera and talk about, this used to be my home, but now it doesn't look like anything at all. And just to hear the fact that these people aren't allowed to get insurance for this shit anymore is what sickens me. It's literally sickening to me, yo. Fire hydrants ran dry as Pacific Palisades burned. LA City officials blame tremendous demand. Wow, as wildfires raged across LA on Tuesday, crews battling the Palisades blaze faced an additional burden. Scores of fire hydrants in Pacific Palisades had little to no water flow. Wait, what the what? The hydrants are down, said one firefighter in internal radio communications. Water supply just dropped, said another. By 3 a.m. Wednesday, all water, I think G said this in the chat. By 3 a.m. Wednesday, all water storage tanks in Palisades area went dry, diminishing the flow of water from hydrants in higher elevations, said Janice Quinones, Chief Executive and Chief Engineer of the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power, the city's utility. We had tremendous demand on our system in the Palisades. We pushed the system to the extreme. Quinones said Wednesday morning 4 times the normal demand was seen for 15 hours straight, which lowered our water pressure. The DWP and city leaders face significant criticism on social media from residents as well as from developer Rick Caruso, who owns a Palisades Village Mall in the heart of West Side neighborhood. Caruso, a former DWP commissioner, blasted the city of infrastructure that struggled to meet firefighting demands. There's no water in the fire hydrants, Caruso said with exasperation. Through Tuesday night, he expressed similar criticism in a series of live interviews with local TV stations. The firefighters are there in the neighborhood and there's nothing they can do. We've got neighborhoods burning, homes burning, and business homes burning and businesses burning. It should never happen. Yes, it should never happen. LA City Council member. See, that's what I'm fucked up off this right now. LA City Council member Tracy Park, who represents Pacific Palisades and participated with Quinones in Wednesday's news conference, also expressed fury over the DWP's water supply issues. The chronic underinvestment in the city of LA in our public infrastructure and our public safety partners was evident and on full display over the last 24 hours, Park said. I am extremely concerned about this. I'm already working with my team to take a closer look at this, And I think we've got more questions than answers at this point. Quinones and other DWP officials said that the city was fighting a wildfire in hilly terrain with an urban water system, and that at lower elevations in Pacific Palisades, water pressure remains strong. Before the fire, all 114 tanks that supplied the city, 114 tanks, my God, supply the city water infrastructure were completely filled. Quinones said the hydrants in the Palisades rely on 3 large water tanks with about 1 million gallons each. The first ran dry at 4:45 p.m. Tuesday, the second at 8:30 p.m., and the third was dry at 3 a.m. Wednesday. Those tanks helped the pressure on the fire hydrants in the hills in the Palisades, and because we were pushing so much water in our trunk line, and so much water was being used, we were not able to fill the tanks fast enough, she said. So the consumption of water was faster than we can provide water in a trunk line. In other words, the demand for water at lower elevations was hampering the ability to refill the tanks located at higher elevations. Because of the ongoing fire, DWP crews also face difficulty accessing its pump stations, which are used to move water up to the tanks. The utility on Wednesday was sending 20 tankers with water to support firefighters in the Palisades, and the tankers were having to reload at other distant locations. We're constantly moving that water to the fire department to get them as much water as we can, Quinones said. It's unclear how widespread the hydrant issues were. In November, the lack of water from hydrants hurt the effort to combat the mountain fire in Ventura County when 2 water pumps became inactive, slowing the process to deliver hillside water. Caruso was also ran unsuccessfully for mayor in 2022, who ran unsuccessfully, crazy, contended that the challenge, you just said he went on vacation too, that's the crazy part. The nigga just resigned and left and went on vacation and shit. This is a window into systematic problem of the city, not only of mismanagement, but our infrastructure is old, Caruso said. Caruso, who evacuated Tuesday from his home, look at that, Caruso evacuated from his home Tuesday in Brentwood, said his daughter's home was destroyed in the blaze, and his family was waiting to hear if one of his sons had also lost his home. Caruso said in an interview that several homes around Palisades Village Shopping Center were fully engulfed in flames, and his shopping center, which opened in 2018, suffered damage on Wednesday morning. Scores of buildings and homes in the Palisades were reduced to ash and rubble. We are feeling the very personal effects of this, he said. This is crazy right here, yo. This is crazy. This is all crazy. Baby Juju, what's going on? What's going on? Hippie Television, what's going on? What's going on? What I don't understand is why they didn't have other states fill in for this. Like, if y'all knew the hydrants were dry ahead of time, why haven't I heard from the president? President Biden can make statements about President Carter and other shit going on, but he can't make a statement about getting other states to come help us with the fucking water. Yeah, I seen that. He's out the country right now. I did see that. Look at this. LA Mayor Bass criticized for Africa trip during the wildfires. Like, your ass knew ahead of time. Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass D is coming under criticism for being on a trip out of the country as wildfires rip through parts of Southern California. President-elect Trump advisor Richard Grenell ripped base for being in Africa while our city is literally burning to the ground. RNC research an account on the social platform Twitter that is managed by Trump's team and the Republican National Committee on Trump's team at that. Isn't that something? I ain't heard Trump say nothing about these fires yet. Also called out the mayor's absence. Tech mogul and Twitter owner Elon Musk piled on, calling Base utterly incompetent, and Rick Caruso, a real estate developer who ran for mayor in 2022 as a Democrat, called into a local TV station pointing out Base's absence and saying the city looked like a third world country. Base was reportedly on her way back to LA on Wednesday after a trip out of the country. The crazy thing is, I'm saying to myself as I'm reading all this shit, is that China, Japan, all these other countries are probably looking at us laughing like, yo, and this is a sad matter. This is nothing to laugh at. But they are literally looking at us laughing because we look so embarrassing, the fact that we can't come together and take care of this shit. Like I was literally just saying, why haven't the other states been able to step in and bring over some fucking water? It's some simple as us bringing in water from our water tanks in different states that we have them in. I don't know how many water tanks, we can Google that in just a second, but I'm pretty sure that they could have at least had some helicopters fly over, some extra, and I'm talking about at least 10 to 20 extra helicopters could have flew over fucking the Palisades at least while the wildfires were going on to simply stop them from spreading. Y'all wanted this shit to spread, and that's what's so fucked up about this. That's what's so fucked up about this to me, that y'all wanted this shit to spread. Base was reportedly on her way back to LA on Wednesday after a trip out of the country. She was part of the U.S. delegation into Accra for the inauguration of Ghana President John Mahama, plus a meeting with Nana Jean Apaku Aguyamang, who's making history as Ghana's first female vice president. So I get it. You were out of the country on a very important matter. I do get that part. The Hill has contacted the mayor's office for a comment. Base declared a local state of emergency in LA on Tuesday, promising that the city is working aggressively to confront the fires and has shared a slew of updates about the fires in response on Twitter, but that hasn't stopped critics from blasting her absence. Multiple fires are raging in and around Los Angeles, forcing evacuations, disrupting travel, and destroying homes in their path. The Los Angeles fire chief reported the first two families from the wildfires Wednesday morning. The Pacific Palisades wildfire, which started Tuesday as a brush fire, has grown to nearly 3,000 acres. President Biden said Tuesday he was being frequently briefed on the wildfires. That's all he said. My team and I are in touch with state and local officials, and I have offered any federal assistance. That's all you got to say, is you just offered federal assistance. Fuck you, man. That is needed. I'm sorry to even say that. No, I'm not. That is needed to help suppress the terrible Pacific Palisades fire, Biden said. My administration will do everything it can to support the response. I urge the residents of the Pacific Palisades and the surrounding areas of Los Angeles to stay vigilant and listen to local officials. That's all you advise them to do. You can't send a fucking at least 10 to 20 helicopters. If you got called to send missiles and shit to Ukraine and pay for other shit, you can pay for wars and shit, right? Y'all can pay. This is what pisses me off with y'all. Y'all can fucking pay for more wars, but y'all can't pay to help the goddamn people inside our own fucking country. That shit pisses me off. Y'all can't pay to help the people inside our own goddamn country. Yes, call the National Guard. Absolutely call the National Guard. Red Cross is already involved. Gary Taylor, thank you for the Cash App as well. Red Cross is already involved. Red Cross is already involved, and they're already taking donations for people that pretty much have become homeless for this. But all this shit for smart cities? All this shit for some fucking smart cities, y'all? That's the part that bothers me. All this shit is for some fucking smart cities. I'm mad about that. Yes, Rothschilds. The Rothschilds were originally behind Red Cross. I don't even want to do the deep dive on the Red Cross right now, but yeah, there's some shit with them. That's why I side-eyed it when I saw that. I was like, oh, the Red Cross is doing the donations for them. I already know how that's going to go. Yeah, Red Cross, exactly. Yes, this is definitely population control. On top of, like I said, they want to do the beta testing for these smart cities. They want to do the beta testing for this smart city thing that's coming in 2028, and they want to have the room to make them. This is all fucked up to be doing for just your own liking. Playing God for your own, the government playing God for its own liking is what I don't agree with, y'all. I do not agree with that. I can't, it's a lot of things I just don't agree with that. There's so many different avenues to go down with that. And furthermore, the fact that it's the furthermore the fact that you did this destroying businesses and homes that you supposedly fund. And like I said, as quick as you sent billions of dollars to Ukraine, as quick as you sent billions of dollars to Ukraine, you couldn't just do the same turnaround for a state that's here. You couldn't do help for a state that's here. Within goes without. What's going on? I'm taken back by this. I am taken back by this, y'all. Like I said, I wasn't expecting to run into all of this at the end of the day. I wasn't expecting to run into all of this. Active describe rapist and rescue now before house. Hold on, let me see something real quick.
Okay, have a good day. Bye.
For joining us. Talk to us. What have you seen?
Well, we were literally in the exact epicenter of the fire as it started. That's actually a view from my porch. That's the house one below us on fire. Yeah. My neighbor called and he said a fellow named Robert, a tree teller, was about 5 houses up. You have to understand, the Palisades is almost like an old-fashioned neighborhood. Sidewalks, all the neighbors know each other. We all have each other's phone numbers, and people are very aware that we're in a fire zone. And in fact, I had said day before yesterday, to my wife Sarah, I said, "Oh, that guy on the hillside hasn't cut down his grass. They got to cut down that brush because there's going to be a fire." And that's the person who didn't cut that brush was that fire you're looking at right now. That's my pool right there. That was the brush below us that was not cut. And so we went out. I had a record of the call. In 17 minutes later, we were evacuated with the clothes on our back. Our garage door wouldn't open because the wind was so bright it torqued the door. And we finally got out. When we got to the bottom of the hill, I said, "Oh my God, we have a neighbor who's 94 years old who has dementia." And I said, there were no cars on the driveway. And we would go over and help him get in his chair, sometime if he fell with caregiver, but I knew he was in the hospital, and I don't know. God was on his side. I decided to call his son in Massachusetts and said, "Hey, Francis, just to be sure, your dad's still in the hospital, right?" He said, "No, he got home last night, and there's a new caregiver, and I don't have the number." And they wouldn't let us back up, so I finally got through to 911 and said, "A welfare check. You got to go check on this guy." Well, there was a miscommunication, and I called my neighbor who hadn't evacuated yet. He was on his roof fighting his fire. He'd been on my roof. He'd hosed my roof down. I said, "Go in and check on him." He went. He said, "The door's open. There's nobody here." He went in and yelled. He said, "No, nobody here." I said, "Look, just go behind the pantry. There's a little room. We can see him during the day. He likes to sit there because there's a garden." He went in and found him. He'd been left alone. Okay. And it turned out the fire department made the new caregiver leave. And, she just does what she was told. They said, "We're coming back for him." Well, they hadn't come back for him. I'm hoping that they would have. But, there was so much chaos. It was like an inferno. Every house was on fire around us. And, he got him out, and the house burned down about an hour later. He would have been in there alone. It was just... And then Robert called us and told us that house had gone, and the house below that, and then the house on the other side. And then at 11:49 last night, all the smoke alarms in our house alerted our phones that our house that we had just renovated for 3 years and had just finally moved into about 3 months ago. All the smoke alarms are going off, so it's hardly a good sign. So I'm not sure, but it wouldn't make any difference because the whole street's burned down. So I mean, even if you go back to your home, look, we knew what was coming, and when we were out on our driveway, I looked and the smoke was so black. It was a house across the street was on fire. The house next door was on fire, and all the black smoke was down there, and the schools are down there. And I said to Sarah, "We can't go down there because they're trying to evacuate the schools, and we'll just be in the way." And here's the thing that's so important. People have got to evacuate when they tell you to evacuate, because if you don't evacuate and you think you're going to be out there with your little garden hose, stopping a conflagration with flames 80 feet high in 90-mile-an-hour winds, you're not going to be helping. You're just going to be stopping the firefighters who do such an amazing job. And you've got to be out of the way, man. You've just got to get out of the way and let them do their jobs. And yes, maybe your home's going to burn down, but let me tell you what's more important than your home is your 94-year-old neighbor and your fellow across the street who's trying to help you, and all the friends and family who've been calling all day. And yes, we're safe. And yes, I think everybody on our street survived, although I can't get a hold of Robert. And I called a friend of mine who lived in Mandeville Canyon, and she had called me, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Yeah, you got to get out of there, Carol." She said, "Oh, well, we're miles from you." I said, "But we're packed. We're ready because people live in fire zones. We're ready. You got to be ready to go." And as ready as we were, everything I own is in this room. Every single thing that I own is in this room. We got a basket of laundry, glasses, pills, and the keys to our car. And that's it.
I just can't stop also thinking about your neighbor, and if you hadn't intervened, what would have happened?
Well, I mean, how about Robert, who in the middle of the house was on fire next door? Our deck was on fire, and the guy ran into the house and got it. I was just blessed that God said, "Hey, call his son and just be sure."
Yeah.
And his son didn't know about it, because then the fire... He's, "Oh my God," and he's trying to get out here, and there's no flights. And then we couldn't find him because he has dementia. So they put him in a hospital somewhere. And then he called me at 2 o'clock this morning. He said, "I found him," because I said, "Go to St. John's. He'll probably be there." And we were able to track when Robert had texted me so that we knew. But by the way, I'm sure the paramedics are coming back for him. It wasn't like they said, "Oh, we're going to just leave this guy here." So I want to make that clear. It was just a matter of timing. And the poor caregiver, I'm sure, was doing exactly what she was ordered to do. It was just one of those scary things. I mean, look, you can't imagine how great the Los Angeles Fire Department and the Los Angeles Police Department and the Sheriff's Department and the DWP, these people are out there fighting, man. That's I'm standing in my driveway. See that flame? Mm-hmm. I'm standing in my driveway looking up there.
Yeah.
And I mean, the planes were going over, and it was like...
What were you thinking as you're out there shooting this right outside of your home? I mean, what's going through your mind?
You know what I was thinking?
What?
I'll tell you what I was thinking. I'm from Rhode Island, and a friend of mine was the guy who did all the remediation for you remember the station fire where 100 people burned to death in a nightclub fire? Mm-hmm. And this is true. There were people in the doorway who had tried to get out, and there were people who were literally 2 feet in the pile of bodies who got out and survived by being debris, and the other people next to them died. And all I remember thinking is, man, when I was a kid, our house burned down when I was 6 years old. It goes up in seconds, not hours, not day. And let's get that picture that Uncle Tina, Aunt Tina sent us of the kid. Get out of the house, get in the car, get out of the way. and let them do their job, your house will go up like a matchbook.
Because
and
it sounds
luckily,
like.
we were.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, know your neighbors, have a plan. I mean, thank God our neighbors, Havisa, Robert, Stephanie across the street, Francis next door. All our neighbors are all checking with each other. Are you out? Are you safe? Are your pets out? Everybody was taking care of everybody. We were on the roof of our house before the fire. We thought it wasn't going to be this bigger fire. You always worried about embers. There was a fellow up the street working on the house, and I said, "Hey, man, would you come on our roof and help us? I'll pay you." You don't have to pay me, man. He was one of the workers, and he did it, and I insisted, take something. And no, it's just wanted to help, man. It's just people helping people. But
Yeah.
I mean, our beautiful little house. It was like we'd been in a hotel all through COVID. This lovely hotel. People were so great to take care of us yesterday. And we were fixing our house, and we finally had it done, and we were swimming every day, and my blood pressure was going down, and if you ever saw the views from that house before this fire, they were just, it was, I posted it today on X. It was paradise, and our neighbors are, we knew them all, and now it's all.
Yeah, it's a reminder anything can be just taken away in an instant. So much is out of your control. And as you're there, you were taking that video and you're seeing how quickly it's all happening. You must have been wondering, how am I going to get out of here safely? I mean, I know our CNN crews dealt with the same situation.
Well, let me tell you, I was standing in the driveway, and all of a sudden I said, the planes are going over. They dropped their retardant, but they're like, it's like those planes aren't, 2,000 feet in the air. They're like 40 feet over your house, and I was looking down, the fire was the black, and you could see the flames, the house on fire, And then over by the hillside where Robert had shown me, he said, look at my house, look at this fire. As soon as I saw that fire, I said, with this wind, we're out of here. We've got to get out of here and make sure everybody's safe. And I was looking, and I said, that smoke is white. This smoke is black. It's moving this way. We've got to go that way, because white smoke means that they got the fire out, at least, the major part of it, and we'll be out of the way of the congestion. And as soon as we got down the hill, we finally got into the Sunset congestion. It's 9 miles to Beverly Hills. It takes us usually about 25 minutes. It took 2.5 hours. And you have to understand, somebody didn't charge their car, their electric car, didn't put gas in their gasoline car, and now they're on Sunset. Oh, I got to abandon my car, and now the fire trucks can't get through, and now people can't walk. When we couldn't get our garage door open because the wind was blocking, because our door goes up like this, I said, oh my God, we're up in the hills here, and we got to walk out? I'm 77 years old, man. I can't walk up these hills. It's like Mount Everest here. It's like, pretty steep. So, it's just, I posted this on X, but Sarah was on with her 8-year-old niece last night, and she came out. I'm sorry. Just, one day you're swimming in the pool, and the next day it's all gone. But she came out with her little Yeti piggy bank for us to rebuild our house.
Oh my gosh. James Woods, we all hope that you will be able to rebuild your house, maybe starting with that little Yeti piggy bank. And we're just glad that you're okay and your wife is okay and have your lives. Yeah, no, I mean, this is real and it's raw.
I thought I
and
would
you
be stronger than this.
you don't, you are, you know what? Strength is not measured by whether, you hold in crying or not. Strength is what you are doing now and helping your neighbors and shining a light on the great, amazing work of all those firefighters and emergency crews out there. You have so much strength, and we appreciate you coming on to reflect what so many others just like you are experiencing in that raw emotion right now. We wish you the best, you and your wife, as you rebuild your lives. So many people are doing that right now and trying to process what's going on. So, James, and also keep us posted on your 94-year-old neighbor and everything going there. We're going to continue to talk, and we wish you the very best.
He's okay.
Yeah.
They found him. He's in the hospital.
He's okay, yeah.
I just worry. If anybody knows where Robert Trinkteller is, call me, let me know. All right.
That's an important message. And also there's this app that's really important called Watch Duty Wildfire Map, and it helps you know where the wildfires are, how many acres it's covering, and how to evacuate. So I want to put that out there too, as just a resource for people. James Wood, thank you so much, and we wish you the best.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us.
Adobe Acrobat AI Assistant is super helpful because it allows me to weed through everything.
I can't believe this, y'all. This is all, like I said, taking me back. I'm taken back by a lot of this. And as I'm reading the comments too, actors, producers, Hollywood on fire. Yes, literally Hollywood is on fire. And I feel like me say this, right? God bless, and my condolences to the people that have passed, died, as well as prayers to those that are being seriously affected by this. The wild thing about this, no pun intended with the word wild at all, but the crazy thing about this, like Cherie just said, Hollywood is on fire, right? They got prisoners helping put this out. Hollywood is on fire right now. As Kendrick said, it's time to watch the party die. Unfortunately, this is one of those things where God is literally having his karma on these Hollywood stars right now. I can't say it no different than that. Now this is wild also. I just seen. There's an explosion that just happened in Fort Worth, Texas. I don't necessarily know how big this is, but
I know.
Because they've got to wait.
How much of the what?
How much of the grid's going to be left?
I know.
Because they've got to wait. See, it just. I'm just glad it wasn't somebody's house.
That is a power substation that blew up.
Before the hearing, police investigators had said much of the evidence against Monroe had come from Amber's mother.
A power substation just blew up a few hours ago in Texas. Y'all, we are living in Revelations literally right now. We are literally living in Revelations right now. Yeah, 57 billion in damages. No, this is, I don't necessarily think this is more covering up trafficking as much as this is, yeah, Medusa, you just said it, what is going on in America? This is pretty much, like I said, us living in Revelations right now, and God is pretty much putting together his reset. The great reset is upon us right now. Literally, the great reset is upon us right now. This is evident that this is deliberate, and I ask God's almighty hand of wrath and judgment come upon those who think they can play God Almighty in Jesus' mighty name. I decree amen. Yes, yes. Tamiko Show, what's going on? I absolutely agree with that statement right there. This is one of those things where, like I said, we are living absolutely in Revelations right now. Explosion sparks fire at substation in Fort Worth, Texas.
At a power substation in the bitter cold tonight. Keenan Willard is at the scene. Keenan, you just got an update from firefighters.
Brian, we did. You said battled, but this is looking like an hours-long process at this point. What we know so far is that it's still burning right over my shoulder, a thick, dark plume of smoke in the dark sky behind me. You can see some of the video, these really strong images of what this looks like at this substation near Henrietta Creek Road in far north Fort Worth, sort of near the Alliance area. We understand that this broke out at this substation around 7:15 tonight. There was a huge response. Fort Worth Fire, Saginaw, a lot of units devoted to this response, and really a lot of cause for concern. We saw people gathering, coming around from miles around trying to see what was happening here because of that thick, dark smoke and the flames shooting up into the sky. At this point, we understand from firefighters.
Yeah, I hate when I see apparitions like that. I wish I could pause it in a better way, but y'all see what the type of smoke that I just saw, right? Y'all see the face in the smoke? I'll play it again. Look at the face in the smoke.
The flames shooting up into the sky. At this point, we understand from firefighters that Encore temporarily had outages of around 54 businesses around this area connected to this substation. A lot of units devoted to this response, and really a lot of cause for concern. We saw people gathering, coming around from miles around trying to see what was happening here because of that thick, dark smoke and the flames shooting up into the sky. At this point, we understand from firefighters that Encore temporarily had outages of around 54 businesses around this area connected to this substation fire, but since then those have been resolved. At this point, nobody has lost power because of this situation. We know that around 20 homes nearby, firefighters went out to those homes and area connected to this substation fire, but since then those have been resolved. At this point, nobody has lost power because of this situation. We know that around 20 homes nearby, firefighters went out to those homes and told them
Look like devil horns in the smoke. Looks like devil horns in the smoke. Yeah, the Illuminati card game definitely has some shit with this. They definitely got some shit with this. I can only imagine, y'all. This is wild right here. The world is in you know. I didn't think we was gonna
about the
be able
situation
to,
that's happening, saying that it's not.
I didn't think we was gonna be going through all that with the fire, but I didn't realize it was that crazy. Hollywood is literally on fire right now. It's like as we talk about everything that's going on right now, we literally can start to realize that Hollywood is gone right now. Hollywood is definitely gone. That's what watch the party die means. Watch the party die. This is wild to me. This is all wild to me. Still tripping the house. A water shortage in the ocean next door. You said it a handful right there, Abra. The ocean next door. House of water shortage. Pacific Ocean right next door. Should never be no water shortage. Should never be a water shortage. Ever. Ever. We have an entire ocean surrounding the state. An entire ocean surrounding the state. Alright. I'm getting hoarse. As well as I need to get something to eat before I get too late and take myself to bed. We had fun tonight, as well as we got very informed. Yeah, as you said, this is on the beginning of the year. This is literally the beginning of the year. What they got planned for the East Coast? New York is about to be nuked. That's what I feel like. New York is about to get nuked. something in my spirit showed me that the firefighters are prohibited from using the actual resource of water that is rich ass city that's been built with fire retard. Yes, I absolutely agree with you. But as someone said earlier, Fury B, I think, said depopulation is a thing. Depopulation, unfortunately, is a thing. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. But God is also removing, as He is also resetting the world. But God bless to those people, like the gentleman that he talked about, James Wood said, God bless to that gentleman, because they didn't necessarily know if they were going to come back for that guy. They didn't know if they was going to come back for that guy. I couldn't even imagine even feeling like that. Like, yo, I don't know if they're going to come back for me or not. I could just be burning here alive. 94 years old, they're not going to come back for me. Crazy. I've heard several top players come right out and say we will see bad things on our own land this year. Like things that usually don't happen here. I mean, the Santa Baby video told us everything, right? Wait a minute. Whoa. 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 Now I get why I saw that. So there is going to be there is something else with that water. There is going to be something with that water. There is going to be something with that swimming pool, with that lady we saw in the water, with the America underwater. Oh my God! Wait a minute! Before we go, y'all. Before we go, right? So remember when I said. Remember when I said that. This particular shot right here told me that there's going to be some type of event where America is underwater, right? Get this, right? Remember how the Santa Baby video literally is a breakdown of everything that is going to be taking place throughout this year and the coming years, right? Remember what we saw in this video, and we couldn't figure out what it was or what it represented? But when they went outside, this scene right here. Remember this scene right here? Notice how everything in this video is happening in relation to right now. Everything in that video is happening in relation to now. This was not some random scene in the video. I'm like I said, it only gets crazier from here, y'all. This was literally in the Santa Baby video. So now, like I said, throughout this year, and I kept saying this, throughout the year, we're going to be referring back to this video. Throughout the entire year and coming years, we are going to be referring back to this video. Very worried for the country, y'all. Very worried for the country as well.